Hi, thank you for joining me today. I know your time is precious, so I want to just scoot straight into describing the differences between our old Play a Story website, which you're currently on, and our brand new one that we just worked so hard and so passionately on over the last, oh goodness, is it 12 months? Well, maybe it's longer, I'm not sure. A long time. We are so super excited. I love this. I've been using it in my studio for that whole time, and I've also had other teachers using it, and the feedback is just fantastic. So without further ado, let's just explain the differences. So this is going to be a spot the difference. The first thing I think that is a sensible way to go about it is to just go and have a look at what you're used to seeing at the moment. So this is essentially your library, and we had these gorgeous bubbles here. So let's go in and see what that looks like. So here's your new library. Looks the same, essentially just not bubbles. If I go into the old one, if you were to go into here, you'd have all the scenes in these this little note curve here, and it was beautiful, but whenever you wanted to change a scene, if you were already in one, you had to go back to this menu. On our new one, you have the menu across the top here. So all of these are our scenes. So whenever you go into any scene, you could jump straight out of that. You can go backwards, you can go forwards. So here you always have these scenes available. When you chose your scene, you would go into this page here. What you'll notice is that you really had freedom to explore the scene. There was no step 1, step 2, step 3. It was very much a go pick something and find out what's under there. And it was super fun that way. However, it doesn't necessarily handhold you through the learning structure of learning improvisation. So we have now gone in and kind of switched that up a little bit. So what you'll notice is that as you hover over any of these scenes, there are broken down lessons, and all of these lessons are actually numbered. So I'm going to show you what the numbering is by just taking you through to this section here, which is our journey outline. I want to now just take you to our playlist. The reason I want to do that is it's going to explain about our lesson plan and how we're going to navigate our journey. You could follow our whole journey just by going from one scene to the next. And that's a pretty straightforward way to navigate and to learn. Learn scene number 1, go all through the lessons, go to scene number 2, scene number 3, and just drop down through all of those lessons. Or you could learn it using lesson plans. Now, lesson plans make a lot more sense because they are designed to be pedagogically sound. So to walk through one concept at a time, not necessarily a scene at a time. So when we go through our scenes, we talk about it being the scenic journey. But when we go through our lesson plans, this is sort of like a teaching journey. This way you can actually know just by following the numbers where to go. So let's see how those numbers are reflected on the website. Up in the scene tabs here, you'll see that we've got lesson number 1, and then you go to lesson number 2, lesson number 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So those numbers are directly reflected in these drop-down menus in each scene. Now you might notice here that it's going to go from 6 till 12, and then of course we don't want to step there. So let's say we're in lesson number 6. Instead of having to search for where is lesson number 7 in my next scenes, when you've completed everything that you need to learn and play through in that lesson, simply click here and it will take you to lesson number 7. So let's have a look at this menu just here. This is really the core of our program. It all happens here. So for every lesson, we've got this 5-step process. We have the motif, listen, learn, play, and explore. And you'll be very familiar with these concepts already from the other website. So I'm not going to go into detail, but basically we've put the motif right at the top because it's often useful to be able to review the motif for each scene by just having a quick snapshot video. And then this is where you're going to set the mood with the musical versions of the story and the movie. And then you're going to come in here. These are our coaching videos that you're very familiar with, so they'll all be in this section here. Then you get to play along, of course, with the story or the movie. The most important thing is to play along. And then we have our explore here, which is showing the demonstrations. So both the easy with the story, the basic with the movie, and the advanced with the movie demonstrations. So basically that section there is really different to what we used to have, where it was very random and you could just go jumping around anywhere. Now we've sort of put it into a much more concise format so that you can just follow one video to the next, to the next, to the next. Again, offering that hand-holding process that's so important when you're learning a new skill such as improvisation. For our teachers, we've coupled the teacher resources so that they look the same as our student resources. So let's go in and have a quick look at that. We have our website here for our teachers, and as you can see, these are still all numbered exactly the same way as the lessons, so that's very easy to follow. Here I've got morning song lesson number 4, and you'll see that each of the videos from our live lessons are following through for each lesson. So as you go in and click through these, you'll get all of the various live lesson videos that go with the menu running down the side here. So that's super simple, and it really does make your navigation so easy because it's just following exactly the same as the student version of the website. So that's just a quick summary to help you as you transition between the previous website and the new website. I think that you'll find it very intuitive, especially if you're already familiar with the whole process of learning improvisation using Play a Story. I just think this is going to make it even simpler. We're right there for you. We're helping you to navigate through your learning process as simply as you can so that you can spend your time learning how to express yourself on the piano through improvisation.